Today at Tiger Drop Films, we're going to talk about Alien Romulus, a film I just have to get off my chest. And if I look a bit disgruntled, it's because this is take 3 of the video. First time I had mic issues, so I had to take off the new mic I just bought, portable mic. And the second one, the camera got all messed up. But anyway, this is take 3. I'm going to do a full review of Alien Romulus, and there's going to be full on spoilers, so you've been warned. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, Alien Romulus is pretty much a great film of fan service for Alien fans. And I say great in the sense that, seeing like so many films in the franchise be acknowledged is pretty incredible, especially in this day and age where you have films like Godzilla Minus One, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and of course, the big elephant in the room, Deadpool and Wolverine, all these films that remix classic films with even more CGI, and they kind of put a new spin on them with a story-wise and some pretty awesome action scenes. So how does Alien Romulus stand up in that regard? Well, I really had a fun time with the film, really. If you go see it in the theater full of people, you're going to enjoy it. If you're already a fan of the franchise, you're really going to enjoy it. If you're new to the franchise, you're probably going to be more scared than any of us old guys. But with that in mind, I truly did not expect to see Romulus end just like the first film that I saw as a kid, which was Alien Resurrection. I know. I just did not expect to see another newborn xenomorph offspring freak of monstrosity that you want to burn to fire. And that's what we got in this film as the final boss. Was it good? I mean, it was definitely, well shot and interesting, the whole final fight scene. We even have the protagonist Rain get into a spacesuit like Ripley did in the original. So, but this newborn creature, was it scary for me? No. A bit obviously unnatural and like uncanny. That's where the whole kind of weirdness of it comes from. But I think it was any scarier than the newborn from Resurrection? No. Did I think the design was any better? No. I don't know. For me, the Resurrection newborn and the Romulus newborn are just, they kind of cancel each other out. They even die the same way by using the acid blood to melt a hole in the ship and therefore sending it into space. So, it's up to you to decide which is better. For me, meh. I don't know. Resurrection may have been my first Alien film, but, even if it was your first time, it wasn't your best time. My personal favorites are probably the original 3 films. But speaking of all these films in mind, from Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Resurrection, there's even an uncanny reference to the first AVP with how quickly the gestation time goes from facehugger to chestburster when the bald chick, who was probably a reference to Alien 3, I'm kidding on that one, but when she dies, the chestburster comes out. It's unique to use an X-ray, but it's not, any scarier. It's not as scary as the original chestburster of Kane, since that one was just, incredible. But, this film is chock full of references. We even somehow have the black goo from the prequel films, Prometheus and Covenant. When I saw that on the screen, I was just kind of limp. I was like, all right, I knew it was coming somehow. They had to do it, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care about the whole black goo thing. Like I said, the prequel films aren't my cup of tea of the franchise. It's interesting they brought it up, but they even did the whole urn thing of the black goo. It's whatever. But the biggest reference in the room was probably who coming back. Ash. Of course, a different model, a different individual, but they used CGI to fully render the original Ash actor. And they even had this particular synthetic in half, like Bishop from Aliens, like he got torn in half somehow. I mean, to me, it was still uncanny. It was, I know, the CGI, I just can't really, replicate a human face, at least in, a film, live action. And, the whole bringing back Ash and letting him talk with the new android of the film, Andy, who was a really good character, an android that was conflicted, and I actually had sympathy for him. There's another reference for you. And, he had my sympathies. But, seeing a live action a real human playing a robot talking to a CGI ass just was so uncanny. Thankfully, he wasn't walking around, but it still felt weird for me. And then, thankfully, I looked it up. They did not use any AI tech to, replicate his voice. Instead, they got a voice actor, another actor, to do an impression of the original Ash's voice. So that was, I guess a thumbs up on my end. I'd rather have a voice actor step in and do something than have AI do shit. So, okay, that was alright. But the other reference that really just grinds my gears a little bit, like sure, it's cool on paper. This was the one that, if you follow the leaks that just erupted in the fandom, and you saw it in the trailer, the space cocoon, they brought back the big chap himself, except they really didn't. What do I mean by that? In the same scene that they bring back Ash, where it's like uncanny Fanservice Valley, Ash points out to them in the corner, hung by some wires, is the disembodied corpse with the full dome showing the skull of the big chap. And I just thought to myself, really? That's it? You bring back the big chap just to be a corpse? Maybe, I mean, okay, it'd be different if it's just like his dissected body, which I wouldn't want to see that either. I think he should have stayed dead since Ripley took him out in the end of the original Alien. It's assumed he got caught by the engines of the space shuttle and died, but I guess he survived and made a space cocoon. And then he dies off screen, supposedly shot to death by the crew of the Romulus. And for me, that's just so, I don't know, anticlimactic. It happened off screen. I'm like, really? That's it? I don't know. That's every time I revisit this film, that's always going to stick out to me. So I guess they had to start a new alien outbreak somehow, but I don't know. It's also kind of glossed over that they apparently took his DNA and made some new facehuggers, and therefore got the black goo. But again, I don't know. To me, it just kind of falls limp. But with that out of the way, yeah, the facehuggers themselves are pretty cool. I'm glad they got a new spotlight. They're intimidating for like the first time since Aliens. The scene of Ripley and Newt get caught in the room. That's what this film kind of reminded me of the intensity and just the feral nature of the facehuggers. So good job of making them scary again, or at least interesting. And another cool action scene that stands out is the zero gravity, where of course, they bring back the pulse rifle, a prototype mind you, then Rain gets to go full. She rains down some bullets on these guys, takes out a bunch of adult xenomorph warriors, then they do zero gravity. She has to navigate, swim through the space of the zero gravity, through all these splashes of the acid blood. That was cool. Acid blood looked as good as it probably could, since it's, CGI liquid, looks alright. I like that Rain uses the pulse rifle to shoot herself down on the ground to evade the acid blood. That was cool. And the subsequent elevator fight scene was also awesome. And of course, we get the reference to "Get away from her, you bitch," from Aliens, where Andy swoops in and saves Rain. I mean, he delivers it well, but it's kind of like the "if it bleeds, we can kill it" line from Prey, where it's like, it's as a fan, you're like, hey, they said the thing, but it's like, also at the same time, you're like, okay, thanks for reminding me of a film I like even more. And, I feel like Alien Romulus and Prey, for the respective Alien and Predator franchises, they were trying to do some course correction and trying to whet our appetites and get the stink out of our mouth that was, Alien Covenant or the 2018 Predator film. So I can applaud Romulus and Prey for trying to get things back on track and trying a little bit of some new things. As a fan of Alien and Predator for so long, I'm always happy to see a new film that doesn't piss me off. Sure, Romulus had some problems that I had with it, but overall I had a really good time in the theater. It was interesting seeing so many people show up, and people even brought their kids. I was surprised to see Alien Romulus. The film really made me want to go back and replay Alien Isolation, which I'm surprised came out a decade ago. I mean, I remember playing Isolation when it came out, but here we are today. So overall, I did enjoy Alien Romulus. I'll link my Letterboxd review down below. I'm not sure how much I'll enjoy it in future viewing, since it does feel like like a stew, a hot pot, a hodgepodge of many Alien films that you've already seen. It's like if you're doing chores around the house and you leave a marathon of Alien films on TV from like some channel, and you keep coming back in the room doing other things and catch more scenes from different films. That's kind of how Romulus felt for me, but I still had fun with it. I did. Maybe I'll like it more on subsequent viewings if I rewatch it, or maybe I'll like it less just because there's other films I want to, rewatch, like the first 3 Alien films, but we'll see. But as it stands, yep, I had fun with Alien Romulus, and I look forward to seeing more from a franchise I love. I only critique this so bad because I love this franchise. That's just how it is. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought of this film. I've been Tiger Drop Films, and thank you so much for watching. I'd like to have more Alien and Predator videos coming soon. And of course, I have a Resident Evil video I've been cooking up for a while. So, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.